So previously we have finished with the approximation methods. Now we will be try to see the empirical methods which can be used for the solving the multi-electron system. And one of the empirical method that can be used is the Huckel molecular orbital theory, that is abbreviated as the HMO theory. Okay. So this theory is specifically applicable for those compounds in which there is a conjugated system of pi electrons. So there must be the conjugated system of the pi electron, which is also called as a delocalized pi electrons. Okay. So basically this system containing the delocalized pi electron can be studied by using this HMO theory, and there are the certain assumptions for this theory. Okay, so we will see that assumptions one by one. So this empirical method, which is specifically popular for the planar organic compounds which containing the conjugated carbon chain, which might be like linear, cyclic, or as well as uh, it can have the aromatic or anti-aromatic nature. Okay. So it is independent of the nature, but it should have the conjugated system of carbon chain, along with there must be the pi bond. Okay. So we all know that this pi electrons are like delocalized. Okay. So such system will contain what? The localized sigma carbon carbon electrons, then localized again, that sigma electrons are localized. So there are the carbon carbon bond, sigma bonds, and the carbon hydrogen bonds in the given like system. Along with this, there should be like delocalized pi electrons, and this delocalized pi electron will move into what? Delocalized pi molecular orbital, which will encompasses all the nuclear centers which are involved in the conjugation. So for example, in the benzene, we all know that there are 6 carbon carbon sigma bonds, 6 carbon hydrogen sigma bonds, and there are in total 24 electrons which will accompanying in this 12 sigma orbitals. Okay. So the remaining 6 electrons which are housed in the network of 3 bonding pi molecular orbitals. So in total there are 6 pi molecular orbitals, but out of this only 3 are involved in the bonding, and remaining 3 are what? These are the anti-bonding molecular orbitals. So in total there are 30 electrons, but out of which 24 are present in the sigma orbitals, sigma bonding orbitals, and the 6 are present in the pi bonding orbitals. But there are 3 pi bonding and 3 pi anti-bonding molecular orbitals. So how these 3 are arises as a bonding, and how 3 are arises as the non-bonding, that we can discuss in this whole HMO theory. Okay. So there are the certain assumptions which will be utilized for the derivation of this theory. So what are those assumptions? So this is the simplest molecular orbital treatment, which will goes by the name of Huckel molecular orbital theory, which is based upon the following assumptions. So the first assumption is that the pi electrons in the conjugated molecular orbitals does not interact with the sigma electrons. Okay, so these are the like quite drastic assumptions, which will like, if we practically observe these assumptions, we might face the some inaccuracies in the observations. Okay. But for the like derivation purposes, this method is being what? Empirical method. So we will be get the some like out idea about the, or the some generalized concept of the given system. So these assumptions, in which first assumption is like these pi electrons are does not interacting with the sigma electron, which is a quite drastic assumption for this HMO theory, but it is the first assumption of this HMO theory. Now in the second assumption, it is further assumed that the total pi electron wave function, that is psi pi, which is being the made up of the each one electron system. Okay. So for total pi orbital, the pi orbital is made up of the each one electron system. Okay. So here you can see that the total wave function psi pi is the single product of one electron function, which is called as a Huckel molecular orbital. Okay, Huckel molecular orbital, and it is not a determinant one. So the total energy of pi electron system, which is then taken as the sum of one electron Huckel molecular orbital energies. So for a system of having pi electrons in the ground state, with n is being the even or odd. So depending upon the system, this n value can be even or odd. Okay, so the total wave function is what? Total wave function is the product of one electron system each. Means suppose for benzene there are 6 electrons, 6 pi electrons. So your total wave function is what? Total wave function is the psi 1, psi 2, psi 3, psi 4 up to so on psi 6. Now psi I is the ith Huckel molecular orbital here. Then next E pi, which is the total energy of the pi orbitals, which is nothing but n1 into E1, which is the first energy or the first energy of a first electron, then n2 into E2, which is the energy of second up to so on. Okay? Where this coefficient n1 or n2 or n3 are equals to 0, 1, 2. Okay, so depending upon the number of electrons which are present in that of that particular orbital, this n value will changes. So for sometime the orbital might be having the 1 electron or 2 electron or 0 orbital. So depending upon whether the which is this electron which is singly or doubly occupied, this coefficient will changes for the specific orbital. Now the psi, which is being supposed to be the approximate solution for the one electron equation. So our standard time independent wave equation is what? H psi is equals to E psi. So by using that we can solve the solution for each electron and obtain the Huckel molecular orbitals. Okay, and this Hamiltonian will give you the total idea about the energy of a given equation. Okay? So this Hi or the Huckel orbital for the ith component, which is not specific and it is not being able to solve that much easily. Okay, so previously we have seen this for one electron system it is quite easy, but for the higher system where the more than 2 electrons are involved, there the solution of this wave equation becomes quite complicated. So for such system we will use the approximate methods. So this Huckel molecular theory has assumed certain like approximations that can be utilized to obtain the energy of each orbital. Okay, so next step is the this each Huckel molecular orbital, that is psi I for one electron, which is taken as the linear combination of the 2pz atomic orbitals in which xy plane is taken as the molecular plane. Okay, so for given system this xy plane is taken as the molecular plane, this x, suppose this is y and this is z axis. So this is the molecular plane here, and the z axis which is taken as the perpendicular to this molecular axis. So those electron which are present in the z orbital, that electron only get participated into pi bonding. So for pi bonding we will be considering only the pz orbital. So 2pz atomic orbitals, because carbon is having 2pz electron in the valence shell for formation of pi bond. Okay, so and this theory is completely applicable for the carbon system only, organic system. So we will be taking the 2pz orbitals directly. Now this Huckel molecular orbital of a particular electron, suppose psi 1 or the first electron, which will be the linear combination of the constituent carbon atoms. Okay, constituent carbon atoms. So suppose for the benzene there are in total 6 carbon atoms are there. So this psi 1 will be what? A1 into P1, A2 into P2 up to so on A6 into P6. Why is it so? Because there are 6 carbon atoms and these pi electrons are what? Pi electrons are delocalized over the whole cycle, okay, or the whole number of atoms that are involved in the pi bonding. So these pi electrons are not specifically attached to one carbon only. So these are the quite delocalized over 6 carbons. So we have to consider the contribution of each electron for the given system. Okay. So this is the linear combination for the 6 carbon atoms. Okay. So now psi I, which is the ith Huckel molecular orbital theory of the pi system, Pr is the 2pz atomic orbital of the rth carbon atom. This is the general formula. Okay. and AIR is the coefficient of Earth atomic orbital in the ith Huckel molecular orbital theory. Now once we have obtained the wave function, we have to find out the energy of that particular orbital. Okay, so how we can find out the energy? So by the third assumption of quantum mechanical theory, we can simply find out the average energy of a given orbital by using this general formula, that is integration of psi star h cap of psi d tau upon integration of psi I square. Okay, so by using this formula we can find out the average energy of a given wave function. Now there are the few more assumptions. Okay, so this theory has involved lots of assumptions, so we can see that assumptions in the next lecture.